Good morning, America. Welcome back, guys. Please subscribe to this channel. Trying to make a living off my YouTube channel. Thank you for tuning in to today's episode. So in today's segment we are going to talk about Netflix movie, Metal Lords. Spoiler alert. Let's start. Kevin and Hunter, high school classmates, have started a heavy metal band and have been looking for new members. Hunter, the vocalist, lead guitarist, considers himself a true metalhead, whereas drummer Kevin is only in the band because his best friend insisted on it, and he acknowledges that he doesn't really understand metal music. What the two have in common is that they are unable to fit in with the majority of the other students at school, which might be a problem when they are looking for a bass guitarist for their band. Kevin is a member of the school's marching band, which he mainly takes to avoid PE classes, and he witnesses a girl lose her cool and yell at the instructor for pointing out her failure to synchronize with the band. Hunter gets into a confrontation with Skip Moss, the star football player at the school, later at a party, while Kevin gets drunk and flirts with a female. Hunter attacks the band that was performing and their music, mainly pop, in an attempt to get over the shame of being pushed around by Skip. Despite their lead singer, Clay, being friendly and helpful to him, Clay maintains his friendship by informing him of the Battle of Bands competition, in which they may compete to discover who is the best band. Hunter enters the tournament the next day, despite the fact that he lacks a much-needed bass guitarist, and his efforts to acquire one fail miserably. Kevin encounters the lady he had seen previously at the marching band while practicing his drums at school one evening and finds her playing a cello with zeal. He shows her the notes of metal songs he's been attempting to play, and Emily takes an interest in them, even momentarily strumming a few chords. Hunter chooses to teach Kevin about metal and the joy of it by forcing him to drive a car being followed by Skip, and he says that he knows the high-speed exhilaration and dedication of expression when they successfully cause Skip to smash his car. He begins listening to and rehearsing a list of metal songs given to him by Hunter, which he subsequently shares with Emily. Emily jams on her cello with Kevin on the drums to Black Sabbath's War Pigs as the two get increasingly interested in the genre, studying and practicing additional songs. Kevin takes Emily to Hunter and proposes that she join the band as the bassist, but Hunter flatly refuses, claiming that a girl on the cello does not fit with the image he is attempting to create for his band. Kevin quickly apologizes to Emily for Hunter's abrasive conduct, and Emily has developed feelings for him. They quickly become acquainted and make love in Emily's family vehicle. Hunter, who has now pushed his image even further towards metal by shaving a side of his long-haired head, also despises Kevin, who he has lost to a lady, out of insecurity. Kevin has discovered his true calling as a drummer, and Clay approaches him to join their band, first during his sister's wedding and later maybe at the Battle of Bands. He eventually warms up to Emily, who acknowledges that being in his company brings her actual happiness and allows her to keep off her medicines. Hunter resolves to take action before it's too late, and during a class presentation, he purposefully incites and provokes Emily's extreme anger issues by ordering her to stay away from Kevin during a heavy metal performance. When Kevin finds out, he is enraged with his friend, and the two have a nasty falling out. Hunter dresses up as a death metal spiked jacket and wristbands, puts corpse paint to his face, guided by an internet makeup tutorial, and heads out to Clay's sister's wedding to fetch back his drummer friend. Hunter's father is notified of his son's behavior by school officials, but he is not yet ready to stop or change. Of course, he is stopped at the door and detained by the police until his father comes and releases him. The father, fed up with his son's strange behavior, decides to send him to a drug rehab, wellness facility as a form of therapy. Kevin, on the other hand, puts on a fantastic display and wows everyone at the wedding, including the girl he met at the party. When his heavy metal idols come in his consciousness and stop him from cheating on Emily, who loves him, he is ready to get intimate with her. He tries to reach Hunter as the band competition approaches, unaware that his friend is in rehab. He then phones his father and informs him of his trauma, and he quickly offers to assist him. Kevin also seeks Emily's assistance, as she concerns her boyfriend's fluctuating sentiments for Hunter, and Kevin explains that he would not have met her if Hunter had not been in his life. Hunter encounters a school-famous metal musician who is now a doctor at the wellness center, and he explains how members of a band must be willing to embrace others. Hunter realizes his mistake and regrets questioning and dismissing Kevin's actions. Hunter and another of their classmates, who was once the drummer in Clay's band, are broken out of the rehab by their closest buddy. Hunter apologizes for his prior selfish behavior and his ridiculous inhibitions about allowing a lady perform in a metal band when they visit Emily's residence. He also invites her to perform with his band in the competition later that evening. but Emily declines, claiming that she is not yet ready. When Kevin arrives at the school competition, he informs Clay that he will not be able to play with his band because he has plans to play with Hunter. Clay understands, and he's just glad he's gotten their old drummer out of rehab so they can compete. Hunter also apologizes to Clay and clarifies their previous issues, wishes him well. Finally, the time for Hunter and Kevin's performance arrives, and just as they're becoming nervous about the lack of a bassist, Emily appears, dressed appropriately for a heavy metal concert and wielding an equally appropriate-looking modified cello. The three walk out onto the stage, saying that she is finally ready, and rock the event until it comes to an unexpected halt when a jealous Skip pulls Hunter off balance on stage, causing huge amplifiers to fall on Hunter's leg, shattering it. Hunter's father walks in and reads them a newspaper piece about their performance and mishap at the tournament a few days later, when the three are shown training together in Hunter's basement. Hunter's father is obviously more accepting and kind towards his son now that they have won the silver medal at the competition. Hunter, too, has evolved, stating that he is content with coming in second place behind Clay's band because he understands that it is the process and fun of making music, along with, of course, the public reception that comes with it, that matters, not the materialistic conclusion. The three continue to play and vow to push their band, now known as the Skull Flowers, after their teacher forced them to change their name before performing, to new heights. Finally, Metal Lords is about how these three characters learn to live with their lives as Emily and Kevin discover each other, and Hunter discovers both of them, as well as others at his school, without his hostile and defensive mental barrier. So that was the end of today's segment. Please make sure that you like, follow, and subscribe to our channel. Cheers!